involves Web3. Policymakers need to understand the nature of Web3.
Obviously, Web3 and the smart contract layer 1 ecosystems are getting the most adoption.
I want to talk about a project specifically, Flux.
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 Bing, bang, boom, pow!
We've got our GPU mining portfolio, Flux still in that top spot.
Today, I'm going to show you guys how to mine Flux.
And guys, have you seen that like mining Flux is crazy profitable right now?
Flux has taken off in the last few days. As you guys can see, it has skyrocketed.
Flux has mooned over $1. I could not believe it.
We were, like yesterday or the day before, making $7, $8, $9 more using Flux than Ethereum. That's not a little bit of money, guys. You know, $1 or $2, you're kind of like, but $7, $8, $10, if it ever hits something like that, that's when you're kind of like, ooh, man, this is actually something you need to look into.
We are on the 11th month of running our Flux node currently.
There's 3 tiers. You've got Cumulus, Nimbus, Stratus. They are going to be adding another node tier.
I am still cleaning house with my Flux nodes. Right now, a Stratus node is making $2,817 per month in Flux rewards, and each Nimbus node is making $681 per month in Flux rewards.
It's up over 130% today, and everyone's been asking what is going on with Flux.
Come over here, you see they have an actual ecosystem that's thriving.
Flux dropping that NVIDIA news yesterday, that Jetson, woo, that's going to be something.
The Flux blockchain will provide on-chain governance, economics, and parallel assets for interoperability with other blockchains and DeFi access.
The purpose of supporting these parallel assets is to allow users to take advantage of all the benefits from each chain, such as higher throughput, more developed DeFi ecosystems, and much more.
Flux runs on its native currency of the same name that uses an open source proof of work algorithm, and the team has made efforts to stay as decentralized as possible with no venture capital investors and no corporate board of directors.
With Flux being listed on Binance and users now being able to deposit and trade Flux tokens on the smart chain, the social volume has skyrocketed as well and put the community on notice for a potentially bright future for this token and its decentralized cloud infrastructure.
Have been talking with Flux, and they're done with some of the Zelcore. They do a number of our different programs. They run the incentivized node program so that you can run a full node and receive KDA for it. Think of them like a decentralized Amazon type of thing. And they've been very useful for KDA, and we've enjoyed working with them for the past 2 years. I mean, if we're the next settlement layer, we're the settlement layer of the future, that might make you the Amazon of the future.
Definitely a shout out to the guys at Flux and Zelcore. We enjoyed working with them as well.
Aujourd'hui, je vais vous présenter en détail ce qu'est le projet Flux.
Что за 10 параллельных цепочек? Имеется в виду другие сети, то есть вы добываете Flux в сети Flux, да?
In dieser Folge, wie versprochen, das Flux Mining Tutorial mit allen wichtigen Infos, die ihr braucht, um hier Flux zu minen. Viel Spaß und bis gleich.
Aquí tiene un pago mínimo a partir de los 5 Flux minados, te van a pagar
3950 तक भी गया था हमारा hash rate 36 Ti पे 41 and 34.7.
É um projeto aí que traz para a nova geração uma melhor escalabilidade e descentralização aí a respeito da tecnologia em nuvem, da infraestrutura da tecnologia em nuvem.
We are live.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, guys. Super surprised today. I thought you guys were coming in later. I was going to totally do you an amazing intro, but oh, well. So, guys, welcome. I am joined by some awesome guests. We've got Ali, as always, holding it down, keeping it real. We got Davey, Jeff K, in the Discord chat. How are you doing, bud? You're talking on mute. Minus 2 points.
Oh, come on.
Minus 4 points? You almost got it because I thought you couldn't.
You were going to kick me.
So, yeah, gone.
You were going to kick me, I know. Now, good morning. Great to be here.
Awesome. Forward. And we got Little Stash. What's up, buddy?
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Good to have you here. And I think, Ollie, is Daz here too?
Yeah, he's there. I just added him in.
Hey, Daz. Hey, Daz. How are you?
Hey, guys. Doing good. Great to be here. Can't wait for the show.
Good. We're going to need you on video and stuff here before we get down to the nitty. Oh, there you are.
There you go.
Good Lord. Good Lord. You guys are way ahead of me. What a freaking couple weeks this has been. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that we're going through our happening right now. We are like 2/3 of the way done. We're getting ready to kick off the last leg on Monday. And man, we're 6,000 plus nodes. Can't even believe it. Like, it blows me away. I mean, we started out with like what, 2,400, and now we're over 6,000. I don't want to hear anyone say we can't scale. Bullshit.
Dan, last year, same time, we were about 1,000 nodes.
So
I mean, a long way.
Within the course of like 3 weeks, we've basically tripled our nodes, and we're not done yet. I think we're going to end up at 10,000. And if I have to stand up another 1,000 myself just to get there, we're doing it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not taking. Everybody will think I'm taking their node rewards. I'm not. Well, guys, it's a great morning. I am excited. This is probably going to be the best AMA ever. It just is, because we have so much cool shit to share, and I'm really super excited for it. So I'm going to talk to the community first. What I'd like everybody out there, we've got a great group that showed up today. I'd like everybody to like and share, get as many people here as possible. If you guys go on Twitter, like and share. Also follow if you haven't followed us before. But one thing I'm going to ask you to do uniquely today, I want you guys listening to take a minute and live tweet this as well. If you have a Twitter, I want you to go out, pick out things that we say today on Twitter, and I want you to hashtag Flux, $Flux, @RunOnFlux, and send that out. Everything that you pick up today, we want to get this thing trending across Twitter. And we're gonna. This is an experiment that I hatched up last night, laying in bed almost asleep. So let's try it and see how it goes. So we got like 129 people on right now. We should be able to get a lot of likes and reshares and all that kind of good stuff.
Let's get it trending.
Trending, baby. Army. Betty, if you're listening, unleash the army, please.
Oh, she's ready. I'm sure she's here.
Yeah, I think she's live tweeting it too as well. So it's good. And did you guys know we haven't done like a real super formal announcement, but Betty's coming on as our chief marketing officer for Flux, which is really exciting. If you see stuff going around Twitter, it's more than likely Betty. If you see something that's spelled wrong and is mildly aggressive, it's probably me. So just so you're aware, if it makes sense, it's probably Betty.
She's cranking out the stuff already at this very moment, right? So if you look in the Discord, Dan, I don't know if you saw, but it's like one ready after the other that she's content ready.
I got the OG shirt on today, guys. Zell ID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured
There you go.
well, I'm like running out. I'm running out of swag. I'm gonna have to buy some more shit because I'm trying to rotate something new every podcast, and like I got something special though for the next AMA. So don't worry. All right, guys. Without further ado, these guys don't want to listen to us banter all day. They want the meat and potatoes of what the hell's going on. So let's start out by basically let's talk about one of the biggest things we're going to announce today, and that is the release of Project Jetpack. So we were purposely kind of we didn't talk about Jetpack much as it was developing, but these guys that are on here right now, I asked them all last night. I said, can you guys come on today? Because we would not be here today without you. And if you've been with the project for any period of time, you go in the Wayback Time Machine and listen to what I used to say 2 years ago. And I said, we will eventually get Flux to a point where it's an onboarding process, just like a standard VPS provider. So you start, it's simplistic. It walks you through the process. It allows devs to be able to get information very easily. And eventually, as we release this into the wild, we're going to pull the reins off of it and let this for everybody to develop on. And I'm pleased to announce today, Project Jetpack is complete and will release on Monday. I am super stoked. We were going to release it today and do a live launch on the stream. And I was like, let's release it first and then we'll do it. So, but I got to see it last night and it's fantastic. And we had this nice PowerPoint presentation all put together for you guys today with like all the screenshots of Jetpack. And I said to Daz last night, I said, and Davey, you guys want to do this live? And they said, yeah. So guys, we're going to turn it over to you. And this, guys, is Project Jetpack.
Should I release the teaser video first, Dan?
Do the teaser video first.
Fire, man.
Let them wait a little longer.
Tease it.
It's unfortunately it's like short, but let me just roll it up. All right, quick. Here we go. One, 2, 3, go.
There we are.
You weren't kidding about short.
Short,
Yeah, it is short.
All right. Turn it over to the boys and let's get this rolling.
All right, let's do this. All right, let's see how we can do this. Let's see if I can make it.
Looks good.
Looks good?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
do you
looks
want
good.
to... Okay.
Deploy.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
All right. Everybody goes like, what? That's the regular website. Maybe. What are you doing?
But it isn't.
There are new buttons.
It isn't. So if you go straight into deploy app here, we used to go to a very different page. Welcome to Jetpack.
6,700 nodes. Get the hell out of here. Where did they come from? Like last time I checked, it was like 64.
Yeah. I think it was yesterday. We were at 600 or something. But yeah, every day 100 more. It's crazy.
Hey, did you guys, before we get going, did you guys know we broke NetCup?
we broke Contabo.
Yeah, we broke Contabo. We broke NetCup. We broke all these VPS providers out there.
They can't keep up with the surge.
No, they came back said we cannot. No more Flux nodes on our network.
No more Flux.
Please, sir, no more.
Please, we're doubling our price. Let's not do that.
I like it a lot. Go ahead. Let's do it. All right, guys, go.
All right. So, Daz, you want to guide through or do you want me to talk?
Do you do it, Davey?
I'll do it. All right. So, Daz, I'm going to give you the HTML page for the guide. So this is the landing page for Jetpack. This is where you start your journey into launching your own dApp. I used this for my kids the other day to help them launch. And this is now, this is going to be launched, I believe, on Monday. And then you can do it yourself as well. So how do we get going? Well, just simply start by the get started button. This is how you get educated on launching your own dApp. We'll teach you how to create a Docker. Not a doctor. You're not going to be a doctor. We're going to teach you how to create a Docker. And we're going to teach you how to make your own little app, your typical Hello World, courtesy to Little Stash. And then also how we deploy it. And that's all in this awesome guide that Daz created. So first of all, thank you to the guys who made this. And myself and Tim, we had a bit of a vision on how to do that. Tim was working mostly on this side of the thing. I created a design on the step-by-step guide. And Daz and K1, I don't know if K1 is in the chat, but you guys really knocked it out of the park here. And this guide is amazing. It is literally step-by-step screenshots, all the commands you need to run. And I had my son follow this he was able to get this all.
Your son is 14 years old?
Yeah, he's 14.
So if you're listening to this, you better. If I can do it, and I think I can do it, and they don't let me IT at all.
No.
So I think I could definitely deploy some
Dan,
here.
no.
All right, maybe
not
not
for you.
I'll take it back.
Yeah, it even guides people how to set up a Docker environment to build from on their PC. It's pretty complete.
It teaches you how to build a Docker. It teaches you how to push the Docker to Docker Hub, how to update it, how to quickly showcase it for yourself. That's this piece right here, just to make sure everything is fine before you launch it. And then it's all step by step. Just how to run it from your Windows. We even included a Mac OS version as well. If you are programming or creating something on Mac OS, we'll get
who's using a Mac? Come on.
I'm thinking Daz is.
All the work gets done on PCs, guys. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the guide. It really it's step by step. All the screenshots are there. And if you still are in running into issues, let's help you out. Just join the Discord and the support channels.
Or help desk. You can
the help desk.
Yeah, you can go to help desk. It's what is it? Support.runonflux.io. Yeah. So you put a ticket in, and we got 4 guys that are working on the help desk who are fantastic. I mean, these guys turn some serious stuff. So if you got questions, that'd be the place to go for sure.
Yeah, these guys they have access to everybody in the back end as well, if in case they run into issues. So we got that all sorted out, and the guys are really knocking through a lot of the tickets that were opened. But yeah, they're doing an awesome job as well. All right, so we got our Docker built. We have it running at our home PC. Well, that's great, but now nobody can use it, right? So let's make sure we can deploy it. And so there's 2 things you want to do. You want to know, okay, the first thing you do is you're going to compare prices, right? You want to know how much my little web application is going to cost to run. So if you look at the cost calculator here, you can, on the fly, quickly calculate at the very minimum what's it going to cost for you to run a node, or for you to run a decentralized application on our nodes. Basically, you get 3 instances, you get a full DNS, all for this price right here.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Wait, what's the price?
It says 9 cents of Flux.
That's
9 cents. Are you serious?
14 cents, but
I don't want to hear anyone
Flux.
ever complain about price.
cents.
That is insane. I didn't realize it was that low. Oh my! Thank you, Linux distribution model.
For specs like this, outlined as the default, you can run a simple web page in NGINX or Apache, and I believe that's like the cheapest hosted website you can get online. And not to mention, you get 3 instances, as Davey said.
You get 3 instances. You get unlimited bandwidth. What more do you need?
I mean,
and load balancing between
and
the
load
instances.
load balancing on top of it, redundancy.
It is as good as 99.9% uptime, because there's always an instance spawning for you anywhere in the world. So yeah, it's fun.
It is. That is amazing.
So 14 cents. That's it. Oh, and did you guys know that?
What if okay? So hypothetically, you know, in this. You can show me what it's. I want to deploy 10 instances. Tell me what that costs.
Sure.
And I want to. You increase the specs? Let's put in screen. I want it to be like something like a game server. So I want to have a little bit more.
Let's make it beefy then, right?
Make it beefy. Let's see what the beefy bad boys cost.
Max it out.
Let's just max it out.
Yeah,
max it out.
Let's see.
All right. We're gonna max it out.
So much memory. So much memory.
Let's just type it out.
There you go.
Oh.
Let's make it a big bad boy.
There you go.
All right, there you go. $81. Are you serious? And that is the beefiest. I mean, that'll run anything.
Well, it's 10 beefy servers.
It's 10 beefy servers.
Oh, it's 10. Actually,
10 servers. So you take 81 and you divide that by 10, that's what you're paying per server. That's
and you can, and minimum is 3, by the way. So
yeah,
unbelievable.
I'm gonna go for 100. Just why not?
All right, 814.
There you
Okay.
go. 100 servers.
100 servers for $814. Insane.
Nice.
Insane.
So did you know, guys, that Docker Hub was having issues this week?
Yeah, because we broke them.
We broke it.
They searched us down and they said, what's going on? Yeah,
that's why
awesome.
we start to know what the Flux nodes were doing. That's
get your shit together, Docker Hub.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Like you can literally see.
Broke Docker Hub, we broke Netcup, we broke Contabo. The list goes on and on. I love to see this, how this all played out, because man, it shows how powerful this project is and how fast they can scale, which is amazing.
Well, you can see Web2 shaking their legs there, right? They're just scared.
Yeah. Well, next time what we do is when we have our next happening, we're just gonna have to let all of our providers know to get ready.
Yeah,
we're bringing
they might run the nodes themselves, Dan.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that. Hey, and remember, I'm just gonna throw this out as an asterisk. If you're running this, if you're running your node at home, bare metal, do it.
And we're now on the radar of everyone.
Do it
since we broke them.
Yeah, do it. I mean, we went. I mean, the ultimate goal for decentralization is to have as much ran from home as you can. I had somebody DM me the other day. They found like a $50 computer and cleaned it all up and got it ready, and they deployed 2 nodes on it because it was a nice computer. So they deployed a couple nodes on it. So there's something that would have went to the recycling bin, and here we are running it. So I'm sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to jump in.
No, this is great.
Have at it. Let's get to the flow so these guys can see it.
Yeah, this is all fun stuff and great stuff and nice looking, but we still haven't deployed anything, Dan.
Let's do it.
All right, so that's going to register.
Deploy all the things.
All right, so let's start our journey. Let's launch from the launchpad with our Jetpack, and we're going to put in an application. So before this, you could launch your dApp too. We're not creating something new here. We're making it so that everybody can do it. And so this is where we start our journey. We're going to create our application name. We're going to give it a nice description. And of course, we need to make sure that there's a Zell ID so that you can manage your application later on. And if you don't have a Zell ID because you're new to the space, well, we got some handy links ready to go for you so that you can get your own by going to Zelcore and get your Zelcore wallet and set yourself up for the journey. As well as a nice little help function right there, right then. If you run into issues, we guide you back to the application guide to get yourself going. This will bring you to the guide. There's some other nice, neat little help functions as well, but let's get going through the process. So we're going to set up our Flux here. We're going to point you to your right Docker. You can add some key variables if you have something that needs to be triggered or you want to run certain commands. This is the place to do it. This will make sure that your Docker launches with the certain parameters you've set. And again, we guide you through it. Some of the things that need to happen. What is a Docker Hub? Why do you need it? Well, you can click on it. You get a small blurb to help you as well and explain why we're using it. Of course, we allow you to go to Docker Hub to make sure you're signed in and good to go there as well. And then the next piece will be communication with your dApp. What ports are we going to be using? What domain do you have in mind you're going to be using? And if you don't use one, that's great. We provide you one as well. And the name of the application .apps.runonflux.io, and that's load balanced and everything provided by the network. And then the next step, we're going to assign you the amount of resources you're going to be using. It will stick with the minimum because that's more than sufficient for a basic website. And then you do your next step. You get a nice little overview, and then you validate and you launch. Let's do it. So if I now accept that cost and log in, we would launch the app. This one has already been launched, so I'm not going to hit the button here. But that's it. It's a step-by-step process. It's 5 steps to get going. You can go back at any given time to look over your settings if you are not certain about something. And there's a little help functions everywhere to go. This is gonna make it easy for everybody to start deploying. And on top of that, you if once you have deployed your thing, and I can speak now out of my own experience with the kids, they make a new version, they push it through to Docker Hub, and the website gets updated automatically. It's amazing. It's so much easier than I've ever had to do launch a website. I was there when you had to FTP to your website to upload things.
This is if you've been in technology at all. Okay, so I'll tell you a story. 2 years ago, I mapped out exactly how I believed we needed to be set up and make it seamless for really anyone to use. And these guys have brought it to fruition. So this looks simple, Davey bumping through these, just showing these different things. It looks like it's not a lot that went into this, but this was a true labor of love. Like, I know what these guys put into this. This was probably hands down one of the hardest things on the project we've put together, because we wanted to make it, we had to understand the mind of the developers, the mind of the users who deploy on the platform. We asked a lot of people, what would you like to see if you're going through your onboarding process? And we listened to the people that gave us feedback. The folks who have already deployed dApps on Flux, they'll tell you it wasn't pleasant. It was kind of a labor of love. By the time you got to the end, you were like, oh, this is like setting up a damn mining rig for the first time or something. It was complex. This, on the other hand, this is not complex. And this will allow people that if you have any acumen with technology whatsoever to go in here and simplistically deploy. We are going to market this to every single Web3, Web2 developer out there. If you want to deploy on Web3, this is where you're going. If you want to deploy your app, your website, your Oracle, your whatever it is that you have, if you can Dockerize it, you can put it on Flux, and this is how you do it. Guys, I can't even tell you how proud I am of you. I mean, like, literally, you guys want to make me cry. It's like, it's amazing because it's amazing. See something you dreamed about 2 years ago come to fruition is just, it's amazing.
It's the first time I'm seeing this, and honestly, it's making me also tingle. I want to, to try to deploy my own dApp. I just want to see how it works. It's so simple. Like, I didn't realize that this would be this simple, step by step.
It is a step by step.
Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, and remember, people deploy something useful on the network. We still have a grant of, I think it's 100,000 Flux, which is what, as of today,
157,000.
$157,000 is hanging around out there, guys. So deploy unique stuff. We had a guy deploy something. Jeff's kids got a little bit of Flux because they built their dApp and deployed it out there. We went unique. You don't go deploy stupid shit. If you're going to do tic-tac-toe on the blockchain and expect a reward for it, you're not getting it. But if you do something really unique, and there's a lot of unique stuff out there, then you'll definitely qualify for it. So the XDAO voted on it. We have it in back in our back pocket to be able to reward and incentivize people. And we are also going to start to work with, there's some Twitter, Web3 developer groups that we're going to start participating in. And I'll be in Seattle at the Web3 Developers Conference. It's called Refi, the Refi Summit. And I will be pitching Flux hardcore to those developers, because those are all the developers. NVIDIA will be there. Go check the website out. It's a lot of them. I can't remember all of them. I just remember a bunch of them. IBM, Oracle, a whole bunch of them will be there.
So Dan, are you talking about a certain other thing too, then?
Yeah, I'm going to do it as soon as we're done this. So
okay.
We'll fire it up. And then what we'll do, can you guys hang out for a little bit till we do an AMA? So just
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ollie, you can take that down now. And then the next thing I'll just kind of ad hoc it, because
I didn't say nothing, by the way.
You already did.
Okay. All right, whose screen is up?
That's
Somebody-
mine. That's Jess.
Okay. All right, take it down. It's distracting me. I can't
All
think
right.
with that.
Do you want me to take it down?
All I want to do is deploy an app when I look at it. Not really.
We'll release a video or something, or we'll do a live stream.
I do have a develop. Do you guys know that I do have a developers tag in Discord, right?
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, I actually committed. I did 2 pull requests to GitHub just so I could say I did it.
And it makes you a true developer.
And it was terrifying. I don't like it. These devs who are doing this shit every day, it's amazing. God love them.
They were good pull requests, Dan.
Well, I changed some shit on the website, but nonetheless, it was important. You know, not important like this important, but damn it, there was a word spelled wrong, and the guy that spells everything wrong, I probably spelled it wrong. That's the funny part.
we never told Dan that we actually never applied it to the
shit
master,
right,
but
well,
it's fine. He can
what are you
pull
gonna do?
anything he wants. That's fine.
What are you gonna do? All right, guys.
All right. Can I just give one last shout out
Oh,
to the
Dad,
team?
yeah,
Dan?
absolutely.
Oh my goodness, what an incredible team this is! You know, from Jeff Vader, Tim, Davey, the whole lot of them, even K1. What an incredible team! I've been so proud to work on this project with them all.
Yeah, Dad's has been a huge addition, and I think Tim and Davey will both they'll both say that he has really come on hard, and it's honestly we've had no choice. We've had to find good people and get them in, and Dad's joined the team, and the next thing you know, these guys are working together and they're ripping through it. So it's amazing how it all went down.
I'm so proud of them all.
Okay. All right. If you can drop that screen, Ollie. All right,
you
let's go. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is we're going to pull this one the question has been asked no less than probably 1 million times. What is nebulous? Right. And by definition, nebulous it could be anything, right? But I'm here to tell you nebulous is something. And this at exactly 10 o'clock this morning, there will be multiple press releases. Flux is launching a direct competitor with Infura. We are going after it. I don't know if you guys have watched the news, but basically JP Morgan and Consensus owns MetaMask and Infura. And ultimately we know who they all work with, right? So it's called, it's the whole Ethereum scenario. They're all VCs. They all have deep pockets. Well, they started to basically deplatform people, which is terrifying in the blockchain space. It bothers me, right? So Nebulous was scheduled for later this year. Actually, we were going to move it down, and as soon as I saw that, I went to the team and I said, "We need to do this now. We need to be the competitors to Infura. We need to be the decentralized option." And it's an amazing use case. So as of 10 o'clock this morning, we're going to release Nebulous's drop. Will be dropping next week. We will begin to support Ethereum, KDA, Kusama, Polkadot. Hold on, I'll tell you the rest of the list. I should have been well prepared for this, but I wasn't, guys. Sorry. Okay, it's Flux, Ethereum, Kadena, Polkadot, Kusama, Haven, Presurge, Cadix, KDL, and many more to come. And what does that mean? So there's probably people on the live stream right now saying, "What's Infura?" Infura is the brain, the APIs behind everything that is using what they call, decentralized Web3, right? Which is based around Ethereum. And I know Ethereum is completely centralized. So for the very first time, there's an option, and that option is have Flux run that back end. How do we know that it works, and how did we develop it? Well, Zelcore is using it today. So if you're using Zelcore and there's API calls back to those chains that I mentioned, it's running on Flux. So we have ramped it up in massive deployment to be able to provide developers, end users, anyone that wants to build on the infrastructure, a uncensorable way for them to deploy their software. And that is fucking huge. That is huge. I mean, out of all the things we've done in this project, Nebulous is the biggest use case for Flux in the sense that it reaches every single person out there. And why does it come on the heels of Jetpack? Because we will release the onboarding process, and if you need the infrastructure to support it, you can use Nebulous, and it'll all plug in nice and neat and seamless behind the scenes. You need an API for your dApp? No problem. We got you covered. You want to develop on it, and you want to you want to develop and call that on the Ethereum chain, we got you covered. You want to use Kadena, launch NFTs, do this, do that, and you need a backend, we got you covered. So this is the very first iteration of what Nebulous will be, and we're just starting with these chains, but we're not limited to these chains. So I think you're going to see a lot of development specifically around this area. And honestly, man, like when I talk about it, I get goosebumps because it really does define. People talk a lot of shit about what Web3 is. Oh, it's, you know, the metaverse, it's NFTs, it's, you know, all this other stuff. This is Web3. It's not. Meat and potatoes, infrastructure. If you want a new internet, you have to develop and deliver a model that is uncensorable and it allows for people to build on top of it seamlessly. And that is Flux. So I want to give a big shout out to every single person on the team who has participated in this because they have worked their asses off to get to this point. I told you guys a year ago when we were asking, people were asking us, they were saying, you know, well, what about a use case? What's Flux going to do? I need a use case. I need a use case. And I coined a phrase. I said, when the internet was born, people said, you know, what can it be used for? When Flux was born, the answer is, what can it be used for? And we're starting to showcase that today. We have Titan on its way. So now we've dropped, and by the way, all of these things have dropped ahead of schedule. So if you're paying attention to the roadmap, you know, it's a big deal. Why is that a big deal? Because we're going to have an updated roadmap coming out here within the next month or so. And there's going to be some other goodies on there. Project Jetpack's out as of Monday. Project Nebulous drops next week. It gets announced over all news medium here probably in the next half hour. You're going to see the Halvening wrap up. You're going to see our snapshot come into play. We have 3 more parallel assets to drop, which we've already been researching. So we are just getting started. And I look to this community to be champions. When you see the information come out about Nebulous, share it. Go everywhere you can. Post it everywhere you go. Get the army out there and the marching orders, because this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. And actually, the title of the article is Flux launches a startup Infura competitor built on decentralized Web3 network, codenamed Nebulous. Man, fucking so excited. It's really gonna change the game, guys. Like, you know, this is JP Morgan bought those guys for $20 quadrillion. The value that we bring to the space is unreal. Ran by the people for the people, and there is no deplatforming it. It's not like we can turn it off. We have no clue where this shit's running. It's on the network somewhere. So you can always gauge how excited I am by how many times I cuss in one. Sorry, guys. We're not getting monetized on this podcast, but I'm excited about it, guys. So we're going to open it up to the floor for some questions specifically around Jetpack and Nebulous. But if you have other questions too about, you know, the Halvening or the snapshots or whatever, throw them in there. And Ollie, if you want to mix in some of the ones that are coming from Discord as well, that's fine.
All right, guys, start posting questions in on YouTube. I'll take a look at the Discord as well. All right, so first question is coming from Mototech. Well, let me get this rid of the banner.
My man, Mototech.
Well, by the way, great job on the videos you do, Jan. Great.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, go out and follow on YouTube, Mototech. That guy does. Man, I fell down his rabbit hole the other day. He does a lot of cool stuff. I was watching all of his videos, man. And I don't know if you guys saw he set up this multi-node setup at home that looked like it was something from Star Trek. I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, my crappy little Raspberry Pi is like, man, I need to up my game. Holy crap.
No, he got one of the nodes from this, one of the hardware from the Seed. That was pretty cool to look at.
Yeah, our partnership with Seed.
Yeah.
All right, fire the question.
All right, first question from Mototech. Here we go. All right, Mr. Flux, maybe when Flux gets the GPU power on the node network, Tesla can use low latency Flux network for edge AI processing.
I can tell you right now, we're 100% set to use our especially our off-chain, our Cirrus nodes for AI processing. And you're going to see on the off-chain, and here's another leak, So you have your enterprise chain, which is all the structure that we're running now, right? And then Titan on the other end. On the other side of the world, in the off-chain reward structure, the Cirrus nodes, you're going to see Jetsons, you're going to see Raspberry Pis, and you're going to see FPGAs on the off-chain solution. So they'll never touch the main chain solution. We'll never have FPGAs on and I want to make that asterisk. Somebody out there is going to be like, oh my God, Flux is going to allow FPGAs. No, ASIC resistant, FPGA resistant on the main chain. But when we're developing out the secondary off chain, yeah, we're going to allow FPGAs. Why? Because they can do something more than just hash. So, the technology is going to be across the board. So I see a lot of opportunity. We have companies that we're working with now who want that ability for that edge compute, that AI interface.
Dan. Careful.
Yeah, I can't say too much, but Davey's locking. Vulture came on last time. He spewed everything. Just keep me from not spewing stuff.
Careful.
So yeah, I think it's going to be Tesla. I don't know. Elon. Whatever. He's worried about something else, rockets and shit.
To be fair, Tesla is just going to be one of them. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's just going to be one of them.
The funny part is all the guys sitting on this call right now at some point over the past couple of weeks have been on calls, and you about shit your pants with the people that you're talking to. That's all I can say. Yeah. Like, you never thought in a million years you'd be here, and here you are. So NDAs are in place, or I'd be blowing my mouth off left and right. I don't want to get sued. So anyway, but yeah, so that's the answer to that question.
All right, so next question is, any news about the Project Titan, APY, start date, etc.?
What's Titan?
Titan.
I don't know anything about that. Is that a new part of it?
I haven't heard yet.
Davey, you go ahead. I'm afraid I'll rattle trap too much. Go ahead.
I think Titan, we're getting really close to setting up a beta for in the next few weeks. So I've been using it already on the test environment. It is floating in the test network. If you can find it,
if
it's
you're
there.
interested.
And
by the way, it works.
And it works.
Yeah, it works. It's not.
Imagine that software that works.
Imagine that it works.
Yeah, no, it's again a few step process to make you get staking. Because Titan, the idea of Titan, at least the first iteration, is to get you folks into Flux and having you make Flux and help provide to the network. I have to make sure I don't step on certain leaks.
You're
right?
fine. You're fine. It's there. It's working, and we're not going to tell you a date of release, but I will tell you this: it's ahead of schedule. Much ahead of schedule.
Well, we could say what the original date was. What was it? End of
fourth quarter.
It was the third quarter we were looking at. So we're actually like 2 quarters early, which is insane. And that's a big shout out too to Jeremy Anderson, Blonde Frogs, and all that team. Jay Riggs is a big part of it. Nolan is a big part of it. Davey, Little Stash, all these guys who are part of it. If I missed you, I apologize. Greggy Bear, for sure. Can't forget him.
Jeff Vader.
Can't forget him. Vader, dude. Vader's a boss. Like, we've got some of the best teams working on this shit out here.
It's fun. You said, hey, look, I've got this design, I've got this idea, and the guys go, boom, and they work it and they do it. It's amazing.
Because my time is super limited, and it used to be like I was super involved with, oversight of these different pieces. And it's now like with Project Jetpack, I got these guys on a call and I said, this is what I envision it to look like. And I left. And then I came back and it was done. Like literally that's how it all, they asked me little questions along the way. And, what do you think of this? And we had our last input call yesterday, which was just super simple, which was like, show me how it works. Okay, cool. Can we change this and this and this? Yep. Done. And off we go. And that's the way agile environments work. And Flux is a 100% agile environment. And if you're not familiar with agile environments, go read about them. And because people want to know about the inner workings of Flux. That's how we work. So
we're decentralized ourselves, right? Like
by nature, yeah, we're all over the place.
We got people on in Europe working on things, and we don't have an office. Like we're all decentralized doing this. It's magic. It's magic in the back end. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. So bottom answer to that is you're going to hear about the release date very soon. I would say you're not going to hear anything till after the halving because we got to get that stuff all locked down and then we're ready to go.
Isn't there also a screenshot floating around of Titan, the interface?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to share that?
Yeah, I don't care. You guys, you want to throw it up real quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, I'm down for it.
Does anyone have it?
Have it handy or
while they're doing that, I want to talk to these folks in chat and tell them that I tell you, one of my most favorite things in the world is to do these AMAs. And every evening I get my shower, get cleaned up, come downstairs, sit on the couch. The dog lays down in my lap. I get a nice cold adult beverage sitting by my side. And I go through these comments, every single one of them, and laugh my ass off because some of you guys and some of the stuff you say is just so damn funny. So if you don't think your comment's going to get read, you're wrong, because this is like entertainment for me, guys. I love this stuff.
All right, so while Davey is looking for that, we move to the next question. Dan.
Okay, fire the next question while he's working on that.
Cool. All right, so next question is, you have been talking about bare metal being better than VPS option, right? And are node operators going to get quicker rewards if running bare metal at home? I think you talked about it last time.
Yeah. First of all, Dave, that is an excellent picture, man. That is definitely a profile picture. You look very professional. I don't know what you do. I'm thinking like an accountant or something like that. So, but good, excellent question. And the answer, Dave, is the fact that, yes, there will be a point when you run bare metal that you will get a greater reward than if you're running VPS. Why are we doing that? Because people say, well, then what's the value of running VPS? So you're still being rewarded. The block reward is still being rewarded to you. But I want to make it very clear to everyone listening. There will be three enterprise tiers that we have today. And every one of those tiers will be tasked with a different function. So there will be a storage node, a processor node, and something bigger, right? So I want to make sure that we have decentralization at our heart. There's no reason why you can't go out now and get, something from Seed, get a Pi, get a Jetson, whatever, deploy it at home, run a VPS and run a bare metal. And then you can compare and contrast what the rewards difference is. It isn't going to be exponentially greater, but it is definitely going to be, there are going to be incentives for folks that are deploying bare metal. Somebody like Mototech, who stood up, all of his nodes are basically hosted at his house from the way that I believe. I'm not going to quote him, but I'm pretty sure that that's the case. And, I think it's imperative for us to continue our decentralization. And if you haven't seen since the halving the map, can we pull up the dashboard real quick?
Give me a second here. I'll do that.
Yeah, because that blows my mind. If you guys remember what that Pi looked like, it used to be like 45% at one spot. I mean, it is amazing. It's almost like this color array that
I got it open for you.
Got
it?
it?
You got it? Okay, let me share the Jeff case screen then. There we go. All right.
So this is all our stuff, and I think it's
the map,
right?
Yeah.
Zooming in too much?
Yeah, no, not the map.
No. This is what he wants to see. Give me a second.
Oh, yeah, the providers. Yeah.
Hey, keep in mind, I'm on Moose Internet over here, okay? So
there we go.
Look at that.
It's getting nicely split up.
Yeah, it's nicely split up. It's very nicely split up.
We need our. This needs to still come down a bit, but
yeah,
this was one big block
as well. Yeah. This was Contabo all the way, so now we have Netcup.
Yeah, Netcup.
Hetzner, other bare metals running.
Wait a minute. What's the difference between the left side and the right side?
So the left side is the countries, and the right side is all the organizations and people, their internet providers, and what we can't identify.
Okay, well, that's the one I wanted to see. So everybody just take your hand like this and cover up the left side and just look at the right side, the rainbow that thing is. That's a rainbow donut. That's what I want to
480.
480. It's insane. I love
different providers.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I didn't know that.
Mototech says, yeah, all of them, multiple IPs, multiple nodes per IP, all from home. Boss.
57 locations, by the way, but this is just because most of them are VPSs, right?
Yeah.
So
correct. So
the numbers are more than that, location-wise, yeah.
Yeah, so the ultimate goal is to shrink that number down. I mean, ultimately, we want to see on the right that continue to keep growing, and and more being added as people add on. There'll be a point where we won't even; it'll just be a blob of color. So, and that's what we're going for.
Have you looked at the map lately?
The map is insane.
Yeah, we got new nodes. South American has got new nodes now. A couple of cumulus.
I just got a message this morning from somebody in the Ukraine who says, Flux is like super popular in the Ukraine, and they want more people to run nodes. So they're starting a whole group of folks who are basically deploying these nodes.
See, I've already been looking at it to host a VPS in Ukraine to help them out and make sure that their network stays online there as well. So I've already been looking, and Ukraine is right here, by the way. Oh, that's not Ukraine. This is Ukraine. So right here, Ukraine, we're still operational. Even in Kiev, even in the war zone, they're still.
That's amazing. That's amazing. If you're in the Ukraine and you're listening to this, I will donate 5 nodes to you guys if you guys can stand them up and prove that you stood them up. So personally, because I believe we need to be in everywhere. And if you're in Africa, hold on, zoom in on Africa one more time.
Africa is still, we still need more nodes there.
Yeah, I'll offer a bounty reward on anyone who can deploy more infrastructure in Africa. Because I heard that it rains down in Africa, or bless the rains in Africa, or something like that. Toto. Sorry, that's an old guy thing. Okay, guys. All right, next question.
I'm not saying anything. Oh, you want to guys see quickly Titan? Now that I have the screen.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
You were able to find it?
Yeah, do it.
Oh yeah, I got it. There you go.
All right, let me share this. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Zoom in so I can see clearly. Oh, there you go. Okay. Gotcha.
So this is essentially the dashboard. You can see it's off of Marketplace. This will be Titan. So you can see that there's currently 4 active Titan nodes. You see the staking tool, the Titan staking total, or the totals, the staking totals, current supply, max supply, and the lockup period. So the Titan works a little bit, and all the folks who are listening, maybe they didn't catch this last time. Titan, we know on any of our nodes, we don't have lockups except for Titan. And the reason being is because we don't want these nodes to all expire at one time. We want to span them out because, let's say we have 10 Titan nodes running and they're all set to expire at the 3-month period. Then all of a sudden you got 10 nodes that fall off the network. So we want to overlap them. And to do that, you also get a greater APY. So for 3 months, it's approximately 8%. 6 months, it's 9%. And in 12 months, it's 10%. And that can vary. And we don't know what that is yet. I mean, that can go up and down and up and down. It depends on the price of Flux. But essentially, that's kind of what it looks like.
Depends on the price of Flux. Depends on the network growth.
Yeah.
There's a couple variables that we don't control.
The other thing that I actually got blasted in Discord for this was, and I want to make this very clear. These are just regular nodes, but they're groups of individuals standing them up. So they'll be on the same way that a regular node would be handled. Same out of the block reward, same thing. So it continues to allow us to grow the use case, and the rewards go back to the folks that are standing up the infrastructure. So I'm excited to see it all go down. I think we're going to limit the number of Titan nodes as we start, just to make sure that we're rolling this out effectively. And then once we feel like everything is right on, we're just going to cut it loose and allow people just to do their thing. So. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about Titan. It's going to be a big deal.
It allows people with smaller amounts of Flux to get into the space too, right?
Yeah.
So
so a lot of people have balked about this and felt that this was, well, not a lot of people. I'd say a couple people have balked about this and said this has an air of centralization to it. Everything you do in the blockchain space, at first, there needs to be somebody ushering in the new technology that eventually hands it over. And that's the goal of what Flux is. We don't want to be the caretaker of this. We are going to get this to a point where we're going to turn it over to the community and they're going to run it. It's going to just be seamless. It's all going to go through the portal. It's just going to be an afterthought. So the question, and then they bulk about the fact that, well, that cuts into their node rewards because these nodes are being deployed. So the answer to that question is this: large exchanges are going to do that. They're going to do staking. Large exchanges are going to do this. This is what CoinMetro does, right? So this doesn't defeat the CoinMetro platform because some people just like to do the CoinMetro platform and have it there. And I think their APY is probably going to be greater than what we can provide. But if you want Binance, if you want KuCoin, and you want these other platforms who start to stand up this centralized infrastructure, because if they're doing it themselves and they're controlling your flux, they now have the power. This is in the power of the people. So this was our response to make sure that if you look at ETH 2.0, Little Stash, who is the biggest holder of ETH right now that will deploy on ETH 2.0?
Probably Coinbase.
Coinbase. So if you guys want us to be in a position where some way down the road, one large exchange is the caretaker of millions and millions and millions of flux that really could impact your project, that's why Titan was born. And not only to allow people to participate at with smaller stacks of flux, but also protect that to make sure that if it does happen, it'll be mitigated. I think those projects will still do that stuff, which is great because ultimately it's your choice. That's a great thing about blockchain. If you don't like the way something's done, go do something different, right? So, but anyway, that's a little bit about behind the scenes at Titan. So let's take another question.
All right. I got a ton of questions, Dan, and we got less time.
Well, we can run you guys good for an extra 10 minutes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll run it a little long, Ollie, if the
All
community
right,
wants to stay, because they seem to be into everything.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions now. Okay, let me go through some.
Let's
I'm
do
apologize if I'm not gonna put everybody's question on here because we are gonna be
rapid fire. Okay, fire them up there.
Okay, first question. All right. So, what do you think will be the breakthrough monetization moment that will bring significant value to the Flux ecosystem?
You just saw it today. The release of Jetpack and the release of Nebulous, it pushes us into a completely different ballgame.
All right, next one. So asking again, is there any API available to deploy Flux apps which could integrate with the CI/CD pipeline?
That's a tech thing. Any of you guys know the answer to that? I know Trunk would know, but he's not on here.
I'm actually already looking into that. So CI/CD is basically if to make it easier for yourself to deploy. We're still having to make a connection with some of the platforms like that to be able to do that. At the same time, we kind of took that over that work by having it so that if you just push your Docker to Docker Hub, it'll auto deploy on the network. So we'll look into that and make sure that that's the thing that's still coming. But at this point, we are already taking care of you at this point by using Docker Hub as a central point for you to deploy. And then the entire network will take it over from you. So it's something to do.
Okay. So there you go.
All right. Next one is, do we get greater reward rank from overbuilding our node resources? Any benefit to using more powerful hardware?
Well, anyone with a little dog in their icon, they get special treatment. So only for you will you get additional rewards because I love dogs. Now, yeah, I think what's going to happen is I think you'll see these different tiers as we start to really hone in on, Project Thunder, which is basically our storage nodes. And I won't tell you which node is going to be picked as Project Thunder node, but it is the one that there's the most of. So you can go figure that out. And they will be incentivized above and beyond what they're already doing for providing not solid state drives, but benchmarked hard drives, like high-end hard drives and space and a lot of it. So, there'll be tiers that you'll reach, and as you reach those pieces on the benchmark, you'll be incentivized at a different level. Take that and you can lay that over each one of the tiers, because each one of those tiers, it's much like when, we deployed KDA and Chainweb data. It was only the two big nodes that got, the little node didn't get anything. Well, now the little node's going to get storage with Thunder, and the other 2 nodes are going to get some things as well. So we try to keep making sure that, because you're a decentralized systems administrator, you have to pick which one of these node categories works right for you. Maybe I have a box, which I do. It's not sitting here, but it's a ridiculously large box of hard drives I've been accumulating for a very long time, specifically for Project Thunder, right? And I'm going to have an array that's this tall, and it's going to be a lot of storage space, and I expect to get incentivized for that. So yeah, that definitely is a goal, is to provide additional incentivizations for overbuilding resources at some point.
All right. So next question: is there any plan to enable cold storage wallet functionality like Ledger, Trezor options for node operators in the future?
Probably not. I mean, we've talked to those guys. I will tell you, we submitted Flux to be added to their platform a couple times. They just, for whatever reason, they just haven't done it. So, maybe Davey, we can poke Volter or Little Stash or Daz and see where we're at with that. But Zelcore is going to add some pretty cool stuff coming up, guys. I like really cool stuff. So if you didn't know, myself and Tim are headed to Miami, to Bitcoin Miami. If you're going to be in the Miami area, the 6th, what is it? April 6th through the 8th is Bitcoin Miami. Head over and get a ticket. Come out, hang out with us. We actually rented a cigar and bourbon bar out. I picked it, obviously. Like everybody else wants to go to the nightclubs, and I want to go smoke a cigar and bourbon. I didn't think there was that many people who were going to show up. Well, I had to up it again, the total count of people who are showing up, because it got over maximum capacity. So I had to go back and ask for more seats. So yeah, come visit us in Bitcoin Miami. That'd be a lot of fun.
And to add to the question as well, you can use your ledger today already with the parallel assets.
Yeah, that's true.
But he does mention for node operators, so then you're stuck with the Flux on the native chain. But yeah, we'll poke the guys and see if there's still if there's any progress on that.
Yep. All right, next question.
Next question. So is there a DevNet to test my Docker image, a public Docker Hub image really, before submitting the pull request to get it approved?
You guys know that answer?
You can build and test locally. It's laid out in the Jetpack guide on how to set up a local Docker environment.
Yeah, it's part of the guide, step by step.
Follow the guide. Follow the yellow brick road. Okay, let's go. Next.
All right, so let's see.
I got one. I'm just going to answer it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Project Thunder an add-on to the current nodes or a separate entity? It would be an add-on to the current node structure.
Let me see if there's some more questions. Okay,
hold on. I got another one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just picking out the ones that I like that pop up. Okay, so this Alex asks, will all GPUs be considered equal when proof of useful work kicks in for ML use case, or will everything be based upon souls? So that's a good question. And what I'll tell you is that we're looking to level the playing field for us to be the replacement of ETH, which I believe we will be. 100% believe we will be, because we're the logical choice. I believe that you're going to definitely see us need to address the inequity from Team Green to Team Red. And I think what you're going to see as we move through proof of useful work, it's not going to be necessarily about the number of souls that you use, because you're going to be validating the chain, but it'll be also the useful work that you bring to the equation. So the ultimate goal is to level that playing field where it doesn't matter what hardware you have. But the other thing we have to look at too is AMD is cheaper than NVIDIA. For people to deploy NVIDIA, and there's a reason why NVIDIA is more expensive, is because it performs at a higher level. At least that's my opinion. And by the way, I'm Team Green all the way, right? So this is Dan's opinion, but we will take a lot of those things into account. So the ultimate goal is to level the playing field.
But Dan, you know who this is, right? Who asked that question?
No, who is that? Alex.
We met Alex yesterday.
Oh, Alex! Oh, that kid is smart, man. That kid's got it going on. Alex, that was great. Shout out to you, brother. I can't tell you much about Alex, but Alex came to us yesterday with just a kick-ass idea, and it's a perfect example of the community coming together and learning, and in putting a pen to paper, or in our case, digital world. Keyboard.
Yeah, he's my
keyboard
go-to
strokes.
PowerPoint guy now.
Yeah, so I can't wait till we can pull the reins back on that, because that's a really awesome home-baked solution that really it'll blow your mind. So yeah, that's good. All right, next.
All right, next one is, let's see. So in the future, will there be more halving of the collateral master nodes?
So the halving on the proof of work side is determined by the chain. That's the consensus mechanism. That's what keeps everything going. On our layer 2 solution, which is a nodes, that is honestly an on-demand halving. So what we're doing is we've already kind of mapped out what we call our trigger points of, as dApps increase and as the usage increases, at what point do we say, okay, we need another halving, and bam, comes back down again. We wouldn't want to be halving every other day. And currently, once we're complete this halving, we can run about a million 2 instances before ever touching anything and looking at anything on another halving or anything like that. And even then, there's going to be the ability for people. You're going to see people start to do like they do in mining, where they move. Okay, maybe it makes sense. I'll make more money if I deploy 10 of these nodes, or if I just deploy 3 of these nodes. There's going to be a little bit of gamifying, and that's good for us, because that ultimately it helps us move around and maintain, that hash power. It kind of leverages itself out. It's kind of like when parallel assets were launched and everybody was like, well, what's the price of a parallel asset? Well, it's the same price as Flux. But it's on a different chain. But yeah, it's just Flux on another chain. I don't know how that's going to work. And I can tell you this, I made a lot of Flux arbitraging the hell out of these different platforms. I mean, so you guys can play that with nodes as well. What matters to you? If you have the box of hard drives sitting back there and you want to deploy those resources, you're obviously going to gravitate toward the nodes that run Thunder. So, yeah.
All right. Next question is Flux offering storage and CPU processing power to host sites? How about leasing GPU processing so miners can switch from mining to rendering?
So that's the whole idea behind proof of useful work, 100%. So we want to take the entire network that is currently hashing Flux, and we want to be able to allow them to continue to validate the chain, but also provide additional compute resources. So let's say you have a graphics card, and for simplicity's sake, it's 50-50. 50% of it has to be on the chain, validating the chain, doing transaction validation. The other 50% is idle compute. That idle compute is going to be what we tap into for pure proof of useful work. And if we use your idle compute, you get an additional reward on top of that. So proof of useful work really kind of changes the game. And by the way, Flux is we're not building proof of useful work for Flux. We're building it for blockchain. We anticipate other projects adopting the proof of useful work model, and all of those chains being able to participate in useful work. So validating their transactions and consensus model, but also being able to use their compute resources at a top level where, okay, so you could see maybe one day, I can't mention any names, but Flux and another project that are on the same algorithm. They're different projects, they're separate, but they're additional compute resources being directed to one place, and it's able to be used. So that's the way I envisioned it. And that's how I think we need to do it, because if we want proof of work to continue in perpetuity, we've got to make it functional. We've got to use it for something other than validating transactions. And that's where proof of use work comes from.
All right, let's take last 2 questions. It's 9:08. So for enterprise customers running apps on Flux, would it be possible to have connectors from Flux for security, network security monitoring, and data loss prevention?
Yeah, DLP is a big is going to be an important process that we look at. Anyone out there that doesn't know what DLP is, it's you have data in different states. So you have data at rest, which means it's just kind of chilling. It's been there for a while. You have data in motion, and your ultimate goal is to make sure that you're if you see a large amount of data moving, that's alerting whoever the customer, the enterprise customer is, that there's data in transit, and it helps to lock it down. So yes, security. I can tell you right now, security is number one on this team. If we had to sit there and go through, our bullet point, number one, period, security in all caps. That is our focus. Greggy Bear has done it.
I was going to say,
Greggy Bear has just busted his ass to get us up to speed. And, we have a bug bounty, we have a CVE reporting, we have, all kinds of stuff, security scans. I mean, you name it.
Greggy Bear has like a dashboard even too. I don't know if I have the screenshot here, but he
showed them yesterday or day before that we went from 2,000 down to 46 or something.
Yeah. That's his pet peeve. Anything security leaks, that's where he's on.
That dude is constantly trying to find something wrong. I love it. All right, next question. One last question here, and then we'll wrap it up.
So, any plans to they have a way to use Flux in physical world, Flux to fiat, without passing to central exchange and having a complete decentralized way of using currency?
Well, that's what Fusion is, really. I mean, think about Fusion now. So you have, Flux the asset and Flux the parallel assets, and you can seamlessly through Fusion move to another platform. But think of it in a grander scheme. What if you had stable assets in there as well? Or what if you tied that back to Zelcore and had a credit card where you could literally move from one to another? Would you need a bank at that point? I don't think I would. I mean, because really the only thing I go to the bank for is to get cash sometimes, because you just have to live like that. My kids always give me a hard time because I literally never have cash. So if you can eliminate all these different components, all this white noise, Fusion is really that's why it was developed, is move from one asset, whatever that asset is, into another chain seamlessly.
All right, last question. So I think he's talking about the proof of useful work. So how will it be able to get anything worked on the network? Let's say, for example, I need to render anything. Will there be any kind of software to upload my files to the network to get worked on?
Yes. And it'll be out of the marketplace. So Dan needs to rent 25 GPUs to render his project for his graphics class. Okay. He goes to the marketplace, says rent GPUs now. He clicks it. It's a dashboard. He uploads what he has to render. Bam, it's working. He comes back with whatever the final product is. Render, the project, I don't know if you guys have seen them, but that's kind of the same concept. They're basically pulling all of their GPUs together, and they're using them to render. It's a great concept, and I like the project too. I think we're going to do it, but we're going to do it differently than them. And I could see a time where maybe Render provides their additional idle resources to us as well. If you have the ability for all the blockchains that are hashing and coming back, and then you have like other byproducts, people who have large amounts of infrastructure, if they can participate too, then that's a win-win across the board. So yeah, one more question.
All right, last question. So let's see. So what impact will the upcoming new Flux chain in Q3, Q4 of 2022 will have for the miners? Will POUW be added on top of EcoHash, or will Flux move away from EcoHash and use a different algorithm entirely?
Well, it'll be a different algorithm. So, I would say that, if we're going to try to have this deployed on testnet by the end of the year. We have a couple components that we're looking at now. I would say that we're probably looking into next year till we put it out. And this is going to be a long process too, guys. So I'll just tell you, we're not talking ETH long, like 28,000 years. We're talking like 6 months of a transition. So, we're going to need lots of people to test it. We're going to have people put their farms on it. We're going to we're going to solicit to the community and say, look, this is the biggest test net that's ever been done.
There's more to it too, right? Dan? Yeah. It's not just the algorithm that we need to
we got to work on we have to figure the algorithm. That's only one. If it goes like this is the algorithm. You branch off. Now you have transactional validation and you have proof of useful work. And then that has to be plugged into an entirely different dashboard so that you can rent the compute resources, so on and so forth. And our off-chain solution, we're going to have to update that as well, because now you have folks with 5 or 10 Flux running these Jetsons for AI or edge compute or whatever. They're going to come back up through that as well. So ultimately, it's like an API. Really, it pulls this data, this aggregated data, all to the center, and then it just disperses it from the top out.
Do you know what's cool already? We kind of do it already, by the way. Proof of useful work, right? If you think about the
I don't run my mouth about that, but anyone on the project knows. But go ahead, Davey.
Yeah, we did for for proteins discovery when COVID started. So imagine that now on our current network, and we roll that out now.
One would argue, and my argument is, we're already in proof of work because the nodes took something that was absolutely trash, which was master nodes, and we took the technology and now we deployed the largest decentralized compute network in the world. So I would say there isn't much that is proof of useful work phase 1. So really what we're talking about, proof of useful work phase 2.
Correct.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank Daz. I want to thank Davey. And I want to thank Lil Stash. And, of course, Ollie, as always. I want to thank the community. You guys kick ass. We have a lot of fun things coming up. Check me out in Bitcoin Miami. I plan on doing live streams. I've got like 5 people that you guys are really going to want to hear. They've agreed to sit down with me while I'm down there. And one of those people is going to break the interwebs. So I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll say this. I get excited about it. Well, I'm excited about everything, but you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a good one. So check us out, follow us. If you guys can live tweet while we're down there as well. We want to be in front of everybody at that Bitcoin Miami. We want to make sure that people are seeing what's happening.
I'll need the live tweets, guys, because I'm not going to be there. So I need to know what's going on. So
yeah. And look, we have a street team that's been, it's like 50 people are coming there to basically just be a street team, go around. We've got t-shirts, we've got stickers, we've got, you name it. We've got everything. We're going to hand this stuff out and Flux will be known. We're going to make sure of that. So join us there. All right, guys. Thanks again for another awesome AMA. I'll do another one next week. We probably will have a special AMA, not AMA, but maybe like a special Twitter Spaces this week. There's some things coming that I'm going to end up putting out this week. So, lots of exciting stuff. So, and if we didn't answer your question, you can drop it in Discord and we'll get to it when we can get to it. But we really do appreciate you guys. And thanks everybody again.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. See ya.